Hey everyone, it's Richard Metalfan here, bringing you guys a brand new 2021 album review. And today we're going to be talking about the long-awaited follow-up for the band Times of Grace, entitled Songs of Loss and Separation, the band's second full-length album, which is released today through Wicked Good Records. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with Times of Grace, they're a kind of like a supergroup metalcore band from Boston, Massachusetts. They formed in 2007, which features Adam D from Killswitch Engage and Jesse Leach, also from Killswitch Engage. The project formed in 2007 because Adam D had write material while he was in the hospital from a back surgery and everything. And before that, he talked to Jesse Leach, and this was actually literally the year before he rejoined Killswitch Engage. And then in 2011, they dropped their debut full-length album, The Hymn of a Broken Man, which I thought was a really great album. I actually did a review of it a few months ago, so check that out if you haven't. And pretty much after that, the band kind of went inactive, because after that, Jesse Leach had rejoined Killswitch in 2012, and then him and Adam were busy doing that. And then here, I was just wondering if they'll ever come back. But I think obviously when the whole pandemic and everything happened, they started getting back together. And first new album in 10 years, a decade since their debut album, and now they're back with their second album called Songs of Loss and Separation. And for me, Times of Grace compared to Killswitch Engage, I think Times of Grace focuses more on the melodic side of Killswitch, which Killswitch does have that, but Killswitch is all about like the heaviness and aggressiveness. And lyrically, they always talk about, with Times of Grace, like faith, positivity, and overcoming adversity. I mean, obviously, I'm just know that from looking up at the metal archives. And let's just dive right into it. Production-wise, like, fantastic. Like, Adam D also produces as well, and he definitely has his influences and definitely knows how to make everything where it needs to go. And Adam D, this dude is so talented. Like, he can play guitar, he can play bass, and he plays drums as well. He played drums on the debut, but I don't know if he played drums on this, because they also have a new drummer, Dan Gluzak. I think he does a great job, but Adam D, in my opinion, I think one of the talented dudes, and he also sings well. He does backup vocals as well as like Jesse Leach. Jesse Leach, who does the main vocals, and Jesse Leach, in my honest opinion, a really great vocalist. He definitely has a lot of feel and a lot of emotion. The way he does and the way he just conveys everything is fucking amazing. Without further ado, let's dive into this album track by track. Now, starting things off is The Burden of Belief, which has a clean vocal rock ballad that's the band sort of brought to us like a decade ago. And Adam and Jesse are kind of like on the duet train with this one at the end of the 5-minute song. And there's like a soft crescendo where the rest of the band lights up, and then Leach's like clean vocal. Those are harsh vocals, I should say. I fucked up there. It just brings up a lot of hope and excitement for what the rest of this album is going to bring to the table. And I think it's a great way to kick things off. First time hearing a new album from them in exactly a decade, which is crazy, and I don't think they've lost sight since. Anyway, moving on to Menju. Now this switches into like a broken groove of something which kind of sounds a little bit proggy, a little bit. It kind of reminds me of something from like Tool, but not really boring. And it's really impressive at the vocal front. It has a very tasty and heavy slow outro with some screams, and I feel like this album starts to also begin like a different like feel and emotions and stuff. Next up is Rescue, which kind of belts with a really rockin' banger and has a great intro riff, which kind of just sounds like Adam and Jesse's other band, Killswitch, being it's like two-fifths of the band. It's a great song, and I feel like it's more suited to just in that kind of realm, but overall, damn good song. Far From Heavenless kind of has a very slow intro that feels like we're turning into like the feel of like The Burden of Belief, and just launching you into some heavy chugs, some sick drum fills and massive growls, and then it widens back up and it just heavies again. I just love how it goes dark and heavy. Is just pretty much what the song is summed up as, dark and just fucking heavy. Bleed Me. Now, this song starting out has a very darker tone to it. It sounds like very soft and slow. Oh, it has some good strummed guitars and some really great percussion. And when the song hits, it just takes on more of a melodic feel, but it's not too nice due to like the sort of pace and the overall feel of the song. And it's a very moody track as well. Then we move on to Medusa. Now, this pretty much sounds just like something from their debut album, The Hymn of the Broken Man. Some groovy riffs to get us started with a slower pace, but kind of like the similar tuning that we've heard from Killswitch Engage. And then we hear a bellowing yeah, and this song just continues with the dramatically slow pace with some heavy vocals from what sound like both Jesse and Adam. And the verses are kind of like slowed down as the drums pick up in volume, and I feel like it really just gets its groove. Next song on the album is called Currents. Now, this sort of like mixes sort of like the soft and subtle, hard and heavy, and dark and gloomy, all mixed up in one. It just feels like you're about to listen to the same song over and over again, but then it just takes you by surprise with some interesting little twists and turns to it. And here we are now with 3 songs left. I feel like we're going to get into a good fashion, and then we get to the next song, which is called To Carry the Weight, which is a very heavy ballad with some very massive choruses that just makes you want to sing along. Then we move on to Cold, which I really love, like the melodic clean vocals here, just gets you mesmerized. And I think then we finally close everything out with Forever, which feels like it just brings everything back into full circle from where it begins, with a melodic sort of dark ballad that slowly just builds into sort of like heavy chugged out just emotion in there. Now, overall, Songs of Lost and Separation by Times of Grace, great comeback album after 10 years of not putting out anything. So if I had to give this album a score, I'm going to give Songs of Lost and Separation by Killswitch Engage a solid 9.5 out of 10. So yep, that's my review of the album, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the album, and I'll see you all in the next video. And as always, keep it metal.